Jennifer Aniston, a beloved icon in Hollywood for decades, arrived on Jimmy Kimmel's show expecting the usual combination of banter and friendly questions. From the moment she stepped onto the set, she wore her signature charm, waving to the crowd, smiling gracefully, and settling into the guest seat. The audience roared with excitement, and the night seemed set for another light-hearted celebrity appearance. But as the conversation unfolded, it took an unexpected and uncomfortable turn. Jimmy, known for pushing buttons in the name of humor, brought up a subject Jennifer clearly hadn't prepared to discuss, catching her off guard in front of millions. Kimmel, with his trademark grin, referenced an old interview Jennifer did years ago, where she criticized how the media scrutinizes women in Hollywood, twisting her words for comedic effect. He implied that Jennifer had been attacking younger actresses. She paused, visibly uncomfortable. "That's not what I meant," she said, keeping her tone polite but firm. Jimmy chuckled and tried to tease her further, suggesting that maybe she was feeling bitter about the changing tides of fame. The studio grew noticeably tense. Jennifer's smile faltered, and what was supposed to be a joke now felt like a jab. Jennifer took a breath and pushed back. "You know, Jimmy, I think we need to be really careful how we paraphrase people's words," she said. Her voice was calm, but there was weight behind it. "Because that kind of misrepresentation is exactly what I was talking about." The crowd grew quiet. Jimmy, perhaps realizing he'd crossed a line, tried to pivot to another topic. But Jennifer wasn't ready to move on. "You brought it up. Let's talk about it." The mood on stage shifted entirely. What began as a late-night segment had transformed into a serious conversation in real time. She went on to explain how female celebrities are often treated unfairly by the media and even by fellow entertainers under the guise of humor. "It's exhausting," she said. "You work your whole life to be taken seriously, and one joke turns that into a punchline." The audience, initially unsure how to respond, began applauding. Jimmy sat back, slightly stunned. This was not the interview he'd prepared for, and Jennifer had clearly decided not to let it slide. She wasn't just defending herself. She was holding the entire entertainment system accountable right there under the bright studio lights. Kimmel, now slightly defensive, responded, "Hey, I'm just trying to have a little fun." But Jennifer's expression didn't soften. "There's a difference between fun and disrespect," she replied, "and I think we know where the line is." She wasn't shouting. She didn't need to. Her tone was calm, assertive, and more powerful than any outburst. The audience, sensing the authenticity of the moment, offered another round of applause. This wasn't just entertainment anymore. It was a reckoning, and Jennifer had the floor. Even the production crew backstage stayed silent, knowing something real was happening. Jimmy tried to recover the tone, asking Jennifer about a recent film project, but the energy had already shifted. She answered professionally, but without the playful tone usually reserved for these interviews. "It's a story about owning your truth," she said pointedly. Whether intentional or not, it was clear she was still speaking on multiple levels. The crowd picked up on it. Viewers at home did too. The moment had gone viral even before the segment ended. Social media lit up with clips, and hashtags like Aniston Unfiltered and Jennifer Speaks trended instantly. This wasn't just news. It was a cultural spark. After the interview ended, Jennifer stood, thanked the audience, and left the stage with quiet grace. She didn't storm out. She didn't slam a door. She just walked away with dignity. Jimmy tried to lighten the mood in the closing minutes of the show, but it was clear he'd been rattled. This wasn't the friendly roast he was used to. It was a serious reminder that not every guest will play along when the line between comedy and disrespect is crossed. The camera faded to black, but the conversation was only just beginning. Media outlets immediately picked up the story. Headlines ranged from Jennifer Aniston clashes with Kimmel to talk show tensions explode. But the dominant narrative was clear. Jennifer had spoken her truth. Fans applauded her online for her courage and professionalism. Celebrities joined the conversation, many echoing her sentiments about the pressure and expectations placed on women in the spotlight. This wasn't the kind of drama built for ratings. It was a real dialogue that had touched a nerve across the industry. The video gained millions of views overnight and became one of the most talked about interviews of the year. Jimmy Kimmel released a statement days later, acknowledging the tension and expressing admiration for Jennifer's poise. He stopped, short of apologizing, but the tone was noticeably respectful. Jennifer, for her part, remained largely silent. She didn't need to explain herself. Her words on air had said enough. Interviews from her castmates and friends began circulating, praising her honesty and reinforcing the broader message she delivered. Even critics who usually remained quiet about celebrity culture admitted that this interview was different. It was real, unscripted, and deeply resonant with the times. What began as a routine late-night appearance became a pivotal moment in celebrity media. Jennifer Aniston showed that even in a world built on image, there's still room for truth, for strength, and for standing up against mockery disguised as humor. It was a reminder to fans and hosts alike. Behind every polished smile is a person who deserves respect. She didn't lose her cool. She didn't melt down. She set a boundary. And in doing so, Jennifer Aniston reminded the world that grace and power are not mutually exclusive. They can exist unapologetically in the same breath.